Good evening, everybody. Today's date is Wednesday, the 29th of January, 2025. I hope you're all well and you're tuned in for my next video diary. And as if you've watched any of my previous video diaries, and the name of the channel, I'm a video editor. I work in TV, and I just read on Facebook. Someone was reporting back on an article that they read. Here it is. It's in The Guardian. It was published on Saturday, the 18th of January, 2025. And UK TV workers exposed to illegal or barely legal conditions and traumatic content. Basically, an industry report, the TV Industry Human Rights Forum highlights illegal or barely legal working conditions for UK post-production professionals. So that's me. I'm a post-production professional, including editors, designers, and VFX artists. Low pay and job insecurity. Well, I'm very fortunate that I'm adequately paid. But I would certainly agree that job insecurity is certainly a thing, and it's certainly a growing thing, as I've talked about before as well. Long hours and poor conditions. Workers report enduring excessive hours in poorly ventilated environments, impacting health and well-being. I have worked long hours to achieve deadlines which have been created to meet the client's request, and it is hard, and I have done long hours. That is correct. Exposure to traumatic content. Many are exposed to distressing footage without warning, leading to mental health concerns. I have been exposed to traumatic things, and certainly that may have had an effect on me, but the way I deal with it in that instance, and this is a very personal thing, and I'm only speaking for myself, most of those traumatic things are about animals. More recently in my career, about animals. I've seen some horrible things. I know what we're doing will ultimately help that animal. So that's my sort of coping strategy for that. There was a time when my son was born, my eldest son, and he was given oxygen and helped through that process. And for a first-time parent, for me and my wife, it was traumatic. Shortly after that, I was working on a series that revolved around medical issues. No one did it on purpose, but I was assigned all of the stories where babies were ill, and that did affect the way. That did affect me. I saw my way through it. My coping strategy for that was that experiencing other people's trauma and experiences of dealing with a young loved one who was ill or in hospital, knowing that I wasn't alone in it did help. In the full article, someone gives a very vivid example. As a freelancer, they felt forced into just going along with working on this program because they needed the money and they needed the work. What the employers didn't know was that they something in their personal life. They had personal trauma based on the subject matter, and they struggled, and yeah, that's documented in this article. And I'll put the article up so you can, if you're interested, you can read it in the comment section. Unrealistic deadlines. Sound editor Emma Butt points out that commissioners often underestimate post-production time, leading to overwhelming workloads. That is certainly true. I do feel pressure as a freelancer to do the hours and to get it done, because that means that you will be considered in the future for the next job. All of these things in this article basically are the things that have led me to try and find alternative income streams. Okay, so lack of mental health support. There is little to no structured support for those dealing with emotionally difficult content. I'm very fortunate in the places that I work. the BBC and certain post-production houses, we do have mental health first aiders, and I have not called on their services, but the signs are up everywhere, and they are, it is an offering. And the last point here is call for industry reform. Film and TV charity chief executive Marcus Ryder urges an industry-wide review to improve working conditions and promote diversity. That can only be a good thing. But the post that led me to this article, the person that wrote it said that the concern is because cost of living and the budgets are going down and the commissions are reducing, the budgets are going to get smaller, and the TV industry and therefore post-production, the editing and the finishing of these things, will be affected, and the way to save money is to do it in less time. It is tough times for a lot of people out there in the TV industry, and the conditions can only make that worse. The people who find a way out of it and find something that is both creative and enables them to have a good work-life balance, I applaud that and I support that. It's just a bit of a shame that you have to leave what you initially love. Your path into a job has to change because of the conditions pointed out in this article. Anyway, so a little bit of a different post, but it just made me think, because it's stuff that I've been thinking about and I've been voicing on here, so I just thought I'd share that. And yeah, there you go. In terms of my day, very, very straightforward. I was all on my own. I just had the chimps to keep me company, but that was fine. Right, I'm going to close this down now, but I'm going to wish you good night. And I've been Andy. You've been great. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.